and welcome. I'm Shauna with sbarnes-designs, your digital accessibility website design specialist. Today we are going to look at color contrast and how you can easily check to see if colors that you plan to use on either your website graphics and text or even your marketing material that you may put on social media or printouts, and make sure that they meet those contrast requirements that are in the WCAG 2.2 conformance guidelines. Let's take a look. So one of the first things that I'm going to show you is the Color Contrast Analyzer by TPGI. It's what I use as a first level of defense to see if my colors initially meet that 4.5 to 1 contrast to meet AA standards, or 7 to 1 for AAA contrast, or for AAA standards. This is for text only, regular text that you might have on your website. Large text and graphics have different standards. Okay, let's take a look. So as you can see here, this is what the website looks like for the TPGI Color Contrast Analyzer. The website to get this tool is TPGI.com/COLOR-CHECKER. So this explains what it is as well as some of the features. And once you download the tool, it's going to look like this. So it's a little app that pops up that you can have readily available to check your background and your foreground colors. So this can be your text, your graphic, or anything else along those lines. What we'll check right now is this TPGI graphic. So we're going to hit the foreground color, and we're just going to hover over the text and make sure we select that darker blue. And then we're going to use this eyedropper tool again, and we're going to select the background. So the contrast ratio for the background color and the foreground color, which is the color for the T, is 11.5 to 1. Right now, the tool is updated for WCAG 2.1 results. The 2.2 was recently released earlier this year, so I'm sure the folks at TPGI are working on updating this tool. But the contrast requirements have not changed between the two revisions, so this is still a good tool to use. This 1.4.3 contrast minimum is the section in the WCAG guidelines for where it is telling you you need to have that contrast to meet accessibility standards. If you click that little arrow or that caret, it will give you more explanation to this requirement. And there are 3 different requirements that you need to look at when you are looking at text contrast for digital accessibility. And those are these 3 here. Again, I just put down that little, or clicked on the caret to drop it down, and it gives you information, paraphrased, about why this criteria exists and how it helps. Okay. Another tool that you can use to determine if your color palette is accessible is Adobe Color, and you can access that through color.adobe.com. You have the color wheel here in front of us. You can do a couple different things at Adobe Color. There's the color wheel. You can extract your theme, so you can upload a picture and then take the colors from that picture to create a theme. You can extract a gradient. And then over here, the 4th menu item from the left are accessibility tools. It does a similar thing. It will test the color and the background color. So let's do the background here. So this menu background and then the text. So if our text color, we can choose here. Let's see. Well, let's go back and grab our colors here. So we're going to do our background color as our text color. So that's the FFFF. This is stark white. And then we're going to come up here and grab this hex color. and we're going to test it as the background color. And then I'm going to hit tab. Oh, and that didn't like that. Oh, because there was too many pound signs. All right, and then tab over. So this is 11.51 to 1, so this gives us an extra decimal place for the contrast ratio. It also gives you a preview of what it's going to look like for the different types of requirements. So we've got regular text, large text, and graphic components. Now this has different levels that you can use as well. So right now we're testing for WCAG 2.1 level AA. We can test it for the AAA, which is going to show that 7 to 1 contrast ratio. Now if we move our slider back and forth, you can see that our contrast ratios adjust, as well as whether each of these options pass or fail. We are on the AAA criteria, so if we drop that back down to AA, we can now see that by changing the color on the slider to this lighter blue, it passes for large text and graphic components, but not for that regular text. So we're going to use our slider here in Adobe Color and keep going over to the left until we have a color contrast ratio that passes. Now over here in the left hand sub menu under Tools where it says Contrast Checker, if we click that down caret, we're going to click on Colorblind Safe. Now if you have a series of 5 colors for your color palette, you can actually do a check with this to see if your color palette is colorblind safe. There are 3 different kinds of color blindness that may be affected by your color choices: deuteranopia, protanopia, and tritanopia. So we are going to go ahead and I am going to enter different colors in here, and we're going to check the colors for a client of mine, and I'm going to enter the hex codes here, and I'm going to tab, and then that changes the RGB, which stands for red, green, and blue, as well as the brightness here, and then you can label your color if you want to. Alright, so color number 2 and color number 3. And color number 4. And then I'm going to use the charcoal black that I use for text. So one of the first things you'll notice is we have this little boxed in text that says no conflicts found. Swatches are colorblind safe. And we can further look at that by this colorblind simulator. So for deuteranopia, if we use the colors in the order that I put them into the simulator, we can see how somebody with deuteranopia might see our colors. So we've got the very pale yellow and the goldenrod yellow, and then our moody sea blue and rouge pink. So somebody with deuteranopia isn't going to be able to see a red hue, so that's why this pink looks gray. Now we can even look down here at tritanopia and see that yellows are something that they are not going to be able to see well, but the luminosity between our light yellow and our darker yellow is enough that it works for here as well. If you have an Adobe account, you can save this to your library. So this is actually for a client of mine, and I've not done this yet. So I am going to go ahead and save it. So those are 2 quick tools that I use on a daily basis when I am checking my color contrast between all of the different elements that go into a website. That includes text, both on light and dark backgrounds. So you want a lighter text on a darker background and check those to make sure that they look good. The outlines or the choice for button color, that needs to have at least that 3 to 1 ratio for graphic components. Your heading, your active text, there's a lot of different things that go into a website where our color choices matter. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more digital accessibility tips, tricks, and tools for you.